Joining me now, celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, I haven't spoken to you since we lost Charlie. I know you felt that keenly. You were friends, and I wanted to play you this beautiful video of Charlie and Erica on the day they announced their engagement to his audience. Just look at the way she adores him.
I'm not going to be able to focus sitting this close to him.
Hi. You ready? What?
Hello. I'm not going to be able to focus looking right at you. I'm just going to be staring at you.
Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show.
You're so handsome.
I'm engaged. Would you like to introduce yourself, or should I introduce you?
Kinsey, the way she looks at him, that clip is so beautiful and so heartbreaking all at once.
You're right. I mean, they were such a beautiful couple. They are such a beautiful couple because I know she loves him immensely. And, you know, I've loved the post that she posted tonight on Instagram that she hoped he had a good week in heaven. Like, ugh, makes me want to cry. But she also posted tonight that when she first met him, he wore this bracelet that said, "Work harder, be better." And boy, does that define that man. Work harder, be better. I love to hear all these stories that are coming out about him that give us a better idea of who he truly was, because I think that they are so powerful and overshadow some of the myths about him that are being distributed throughout, unfortunately, the town I live in.
Now, as we covered earlier in the program, Disney has indefinitely cancelled Jimmy Kimmel's ABC show after he peddled blatant lies about Charlie Kirk's assassination. He's now reacted to being dumped, with sources telling the Daily Mail that the alleged comedian is pissed and he isn't going to take this lightly. Kinsey, the source also revealed that Jimmy Kimmel's already got some plans underway.
Never forget Charlie Kirk's tweet from October of 2017. Jimmy Kimmel is not funny. Jimmy Kimmel is not funny. But yeah, first of all, reports suggest that Stephen Colbert is actually trying to book him for his show to exploit this. We love a pity party. Get in, loser. We're going job hunting. One of his producers say they were wandering around like aimless cows, adding, "I've never seen Jimmy this angry." And the source says that Jimmy is now looking to forever break his relationship with ABC. He wants out of his contract. And you know what? Good riddance. You know, I think that a lot of these people think that they can walk away and recreate what Tucker Carlson has created. But, you know, that it takes a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and integrity to do what someone like Tucker's done. And I don't believe that Jimmy Kimmel has that, especially after what I've witnessed this week.
Well, he certainly doesn't have the talent. He is going to, I think, be in for a rude shock, because he might be upset with ABC and Disney. But Kinsey, he's been very well paid for some very poor ratings for many years. You'd think he would be a little bit grateful.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing. I don't think that he realizes that wherever he goes next is not going to be as good as this deal. It's just impossible. The media landscape has changed. And you saw Charlie really kick the doors down with deciding, I'm not going to pursue mainstream media. I'm going to start my own media. I'm going to have my own podcast, and I'll use legacy media to build my brand. But I just don't think that Kimmel has the drive.
No, the work ethic, the talent, the principles, the list goes on. He doesn't have any of it. Now, Donald Trump has posted about Kimmel's sacking on Truth Social. He wrote, "Great news from America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel show is cancelled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible." So the president has had his say. Now, tell me about this actress who has posted about Charlie, saying he was hateful on her Instagram page. Tell me about I'm not familiar with her at all. What sort of work has she
Oh, you know
done,
what?
and what sort of
Well,
reaction
hey,
is she getting?
I'm going to shock you when I tell you she's in the movie Mean Girls, right? Like the
Oh,
irony
okay,
that this
fitting.
woman who has no sympathy towards a man who has just been shot and killed, not only in front of his two small children, but in front of the world online. The actress is from Mean Girls. So, I mean, that really tells us everything we need to know about her, right? But she says that we really should be looking, I can't remember how she phrased it, something about how we should, before we glorify this person, we should research them. And I would advise her to take her own advice there. So much of what you see
Mm.
people like Amanda quoting of Kirk's is either a blatant lie or completely taken out of context. If you listen to one of the man's entire arguments, he was respectful, loving, and principled. So, she has two small children, just like Erica. How would she feel if their daddy was taken from them in the way that Charlie was? Show some human decency.
You're so right, and particularly on Instagram and other social media sites as well, I've seen in the past week so much ignorance. I mean, it's one thing to say, I did not agree with what he said or his worldview, but people taking one line out of context without everything else around it that actually gives meaning to it, or just fabricating lines that Charlie never uttered and condemning him with that. I mean, that's what's really quite maddening. It's one thing to be honest, but it's another thing to be manufacturing fake quotes to malign a man who's been murdered.
And we expect that from social media, but when the New York Times has to apologize because they've taken something that Charlie said out of context, I mean, they used a quote that was hateful, that was the introduction to Charlie arguing with that quote without the follow through on
Yes.
why Charlie said that quote was wrong. And then they had to apologize for that. So, I mean, it's not even, I think we've come to expect idiots on social media, but, it's so disappointing when you see the mainstream, the legacy media act in a similar fashion.
Now, President Donald Trump has singled out Princess Kate during his state banquet speech at Windsor Castle, praising her as radiant, healthy, and so beautiful as she sat on his right. How did she react to that, Kinsey?
It was so cute. She looked at him and smiled. I mean, obviously, she was a knockout at this banquet in this gold dress, tiara. I mean, it's everything I think it will be the picture of her. It's the best picture of her I've seen in her entire life. And I used to just love to look at her wedding day photos. But I also love this little dig I feel like he took at Prince Harry, because Trump says His Majesty has also raised a remarkable son. His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, is really amazing. And I think you will have an unbelievably successful future. So no mention of Prince Harry, just glowing about how much he loved the Prince and Princess of Wales. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are probably sitting on their couch eating bonbons or whatever she's thrown flower sprinkles on. And I love to see them all shine.
Now, Melania Trump's choice of dress also raised eyebrows. It has been labelled a daring fashion choice. What's the consensus, Kinsey? I'm wearing yellow in tribute.
I love it. Isn't she so clever? She has us all talking. This digital debate reminds me of the viral dress from 2015. Was she wearing sunshine yellow or buttercup yellow? Was she wearing a lilac belt or a pink belt? Answer: buttercup yellow and an Easter purple belt. And I love the choice. Yellow symbolizes optimism, happiness, wisdom, courage. And after last week, we could all use a little bit of that.
Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time.